Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Writing Your Writing. I am your host, Mr. Gessel, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to take a stand on a particular binary thesis prompt, find a piece of evidence to support your position, and properly analyze and evaluate that evidence to support your thesis point. So let's not mess around here. Let's not play around. Let's get right down to business. I have here my thesis. Now, I've been asked by my teacher, your teacher, me, how whether or not great teachers are born or made. And I have taken a specific stand on that prompt, and I'm going to say, if you look up at my thesis, that great teachers are made, not born, because Gruel was not an exemplary teacher from her first day. And I've left the second reason blank because I don't want to do all of your thinking for you. I don't want you to use my thesis. I want you to have your own original, unique thesis. So my first reason here, great teachers are made, not born. What I'm not going to show you in this video is how to write an introduction or how to write a conclusion. I think that you have been working on that since second grade, so I don't think that I necessarily need to rehash that. But what we've been talking about is how to take a thesis prong, and my first prong here is because Gruel was not an exemplary teacher from her first day, and use appropriate evidence, and then analyze that evidence to show how it supports the thesis. So we've only just started watching the movie, and I have just 3 pieces of evidence here, but as you'll see, I have some evidence that can help me support my first thesis prong, I believe. So let's take a look at the evidence. The first piece of evidence I have here reads, in the restaurant scene, Gruel's father expresses disappointment in her career choice. She vows not to give up. First thing, just a little bit of background of how to do this for you. Notice that I say in the restaurant scene. In the next piece, I say on the first day of school. In the third piece, I say after a riot at the school. You always want to give a little time reference or place reference so that the reader knows what part of the movie or what part of the text you're referring to. If you're talking about a book or a text, a lot of times you'll give a page number or something like that. For a movie, I like to say when it happened or where it happened so the reader understands what's going on. So anyway, in the restaurant scene, Gruel's father expresses disappointment in her career choice. She vows not to give up. So again, I'm evaluating this evidence to try and figure out if it helps me prove that Gruel was not an exemplary teacher from her first day. And in all honesty, I think if I spent enough time trying to make the connection between Gruel's father expressing disappointment in her career choice and her not giving up and the fact that she wasn't awesome from the very first day, maybe I could, but it would be kind of a stretch. I don't really think this piece of evidence fits that thesis prong. Maybe it would fit my second one, or maybe it just is written down on the paper and isn't going to really do me any good at all. So I'm actually not going to use that piece of evidence. It doesn't really help me. Let's look at the next one here. On the first day of school, the students tune Gruel out, not listening to her, and there is a fight. So that piece of evidence actually does help me. In fact, it's pretty perfect because wouldn't it stand to reason if Gruel was a born teacher that she would just be awesome from the very first day and all of the students would do exactly what she said, just like what happens in Mr. Gessel's class every single day. Of course. Well, that's perfect. So I'm definitely going to use that, so I'll bold that one. And then let's take a look at the third piece. After a riot at the school, Gruel goes home and cries to her husband that teaching wasn't what she expected. That's another piece of evidence that I think will ultimately be fairly useful for me because, again, if she was a born teacher, wouldn't she have already known what to have expected, and she wouldn't be freaking out that kids were trying to murder each other in the courtyard and so on and so forth. So I think I can use that piece too. I don't think it's quite as strong as the second piece, but I'll bold it and come back to it. So let's get down to what we really are after here, and let's take a look at how to begin. So again, I'm not writing an intro or conclusion. I'm just writing one of the body paragraphs, an analysis paragraph, and I have to start with my topic sentence. So I come back up to my thesis prong. Gruel was not an exemplary teacher from her first day. So here we go. I'm just going to be really straightforward with it. I'm not going to get too fancy. I'm not going to try and get too cute. I'm just going to say great teachers are made, not born, as evidenced by the fact that Aaron Gruel was not, let me refer back up to my thesis prong, was not an exemplary teacher from her first day on the job. Guys, it is not rocket science. It is not art. It's pretty straightforward. My topic sentence, I'm just going to say exactly what my thesis tells me I need to say. Now I need to introduce some evidence. So I don't want to spend a lot of time summarizing. I just want to get right down to giving that evidence. So here we go. On the first day, on Gruel's first day as a teacher, she struggled mightily. Students did not listen to her, and there was even a fight. Guys, that is really all the evidence I need. I'm not going to go back and re-summarize the movie. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. I just want to put the evidence there, and now I want to analyze it. So, just like we did before with the highlighters, I am going to actually highlight this topic sentence, if I can find my color. I'm going to highlight that in, where is it? Yellow. I'm going to highlight my evidence in, I know blue is tough to see. This I found a lighter shade of blue. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. And then here we go. Now I'm just going to move right forward into the analysis. So why does that prove my thesis? I have to come back to that yellow. This shows, no, bad start. A natural teacher or a born teacher would have been perfect from the word go. Instead of struggling even to get her students' attention, a born teacher would have had that attention automatically. Gruel clearly was not born to teach. If she had been, she would have been able to get the students to learn grammar or any other concept she needed to teach from her first moments in a classroom. Okay, so I've analyzed it. There's my analysis. It comes back, it proves that great teachers are made, not born, because Gruel was not perfect on her first day in the classroom. And if I come back, and I just want to wrap it up, and I want to give one last sentence here that ties this together and kind of provides some closure for this paragraph. So I'm going to say that, what am I going to say? I'm going to say that teachers, like all other professions, I guess I should say teaching, like all other professions, requires hard work and dedication, and no one is perfect or masterful from the beginning. Okay, there we go, and I'm going to highlight this. I think that I have done a fairly effective job of proving my thesis, so I'm going to highlight that in green. So again, let's take a look at this paragraph. It's always important to reread a paragraph once you've written it. Great teachers are made, not born, as evidenced by the fact that Erin Gruel was not an exemplary teacher from her first day on the job. Erin Gruel's first day as a teacher, on Gruel's first day as teacher, she struggled mightily. Students did not listen to her, and there was even a fight. There's my evidence. Here comes my analysis. A natural teacher or a born teacher would have been perfect from the word go. Instead of struggling even to get her students' attention, a born teacher would have had that attention automatically. Gruel clearly was not born to teach. If she had been, she would have been able to get the students to learn grammar or any other concept she needed to teach from her first moments in the classroom. Teaching, like all other professions, requires hard work and dedication, and no one is perfect or masterful from the beginning. Now I'm ready to give my next piece of evidence to prove this thesis prong. I'm still here. I haven't given enough evidence to prove this thesis prong quite yet, but I'm going to move on to my next paragraph, and I'm going to prove that thesis prong with even more evidence. So ladies and gentlemen, in this edition of Writing Your Writing, I've shown you how to use evidence to prove a thesis prong.